What's up, fight fans? In today's video, the MMA World reacted to Dana White's new changes in the UFC.
You like that?
Plus, Dana just pulled off a huge win. Former UFC ref Big John McCarthy also shared a wild story about Jon Jones that you've probably never heard before. Tom Aspinall keeps trolling Jon Jones. Charles Oliveira revealed who was the toughest opponent of his entire career.
What's the message to Sean O'Malley?
Merab Dvalishvili stepped up to Sean O'Malley with an offer to give the fans an unforgettable fight. And finally, Belal Muhammad breaks silence after Nate Diaz's savage remarks. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. Dana White isn't just running the UFC. Now he's winning in the world of bull riding too. Recently, he posted a short video on Instagram with just 5 words. "My boy is badass." He was talking about his bull named Playmate, and he just took first place at an ABBI bull riding event, surprising a lot of people who didn't even know Dana was in the bull business. Since debuting in July 2024, Playmate has competed 11 times and only been ridden once. People call him mean and violent, and Dana White loves it. Also, there's a new twist coming to the UFC, and it starts this Saturday, May 31st at UFC Vegas 107 Blanchfield vs. Barber. The UFC is teaming up with Topps to launch official UFC debut patches. So what's the deal? From now on, when a fighter makes their UFC debut, they'll wear a special debut patch on their fight gear. After the fight, that patch will be turned into a one-of-one signed trading card, making it a unique collectible that fans and collectors will definitely want to get their hands on. The first fighter to ever wear the UFC debut patch will be Andreas Bane Gustafsson, who fights this Saturday. That makes his patch the first in UFC history. Fans reacted positively to the news, with many even saying, "That's actually pretty cool." Another fan wrote, "This is actually a great idea, bringing UFC cards to a new level. Let's think of a way to milk more money off folks. Just sell event-worn items, monetizing every last thing they can. Please make a card of Jon Jones getting stripped of the belt. I would buy that one." Jon Jones is making you look like idiots. Dana White is under pressure to come up with something new, something that will bring energy back to the sport. He tries everything. Attendance is dropping for certain events, and online engagement isn't what it used to be. Even legends like Jon Jones and Nate Diaz have recently admitted they barely watch UFC anymore, and a lot of fans seem to agree.
I don't even root for nobody unless they're directly on my team.
Unless you know them, right?
I hope this guy does better. I don't give a fuck.
Same, I don't lose sleep over who wins.
I'll give a whole explanation, but I don't give a fuck though.
I barely watch it. I barely watch it.
No,
unless it's my weight class.
Who are all the people? You don't even know
a lot of people that we don't know.
Everybody's gone. It's like a whole new generation. Like everybody's got the potential, but it's like slow moving right now.
The petition to strip Jon Jones of his UFC title has now passed 100,000 signatures, and the drama isn't slowing down. But not everyone wants to see Bones lose his belt. User X, known as the King of the UFC, has launched a counter-petition asking fans to support Jon Jones and let him keep the title.
Like, I'm done. I'm done with waiting. It's like, yeah, it's like Elder Scrolls 6, dude. It's just like, you know what I mean? Just, you gotta have to play something else, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. And honestly, everyone nagging him and poking at him and trying to get clips and stuff is worse for me. Like, they're like, yeah, it's way worse for me. It's just, I'm done with that too. I'm just done. I think
I get it.
I don't know how Jones still holds the title, honestly. Like, I know I've mentioned when we first started speaking about this many moons ago, how I was like, no one's stripping Jones, you can't do that to him. But mate, come on, you're taking the piss now. You're taking the piss now. But I was like,
yeah.
Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall and Craig Jones are trolling Jon online, adding fuel to the fire.
You want problem with this guy? You want problem?
Great, get off.
Sorry, it's a Jones thing, Tom.
My team. Great, get off.
Jon Jones responds to Craig Jones and Tom Aspinall, writing, "Rent-free." Former UFC referee Big John McCarthy recently shared a wild story about Jon Jones's antics. Speaking on the Weighing In podcast, McCarthy recalled a crazy moment that happened in Jones's locker room before a fight.
But when I went into John's locker room, he's, bouncing around, he's having a good time. And so I got a question for you. I said, yeah, what's your question? And he says, I need somebody. And there's an individual there, and that individual was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and was working for the commission. And he says, is someone getting on the ground for me, right? And so this guy, being a ground guy and being someone that was, man, I'm in Jon Jones's locker room. This is great. And so he says, oh, I'll do it for you. He says, I know how to roll. And so he goes down. He says, just put me in guard, right? And then Jon decides to do a sexual act with me, saying, what if I do this, right? This isn't illegal, right? And the guy who was on the ground, quickly his eyes went, as big as they could get. Like, what are you doing? And I said, Jon, knock it off, right? And I helped the person up. And he goes, I'm just joking. And he goes, but really, what could you do? I said, I could disqualify you for being unsportsmanlike. Go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens. This is why Jon and I never really got it.
In a recent interview, when Jon Jones was asked if there's going to be one last rodeo and how he sees his future, he responded,
could we expect one more rodeo?
I don't know what life holds as far as fighting and competing. I do feel like I'll be a lifelong martial artist, whether I'm coaching others or taking exhibition matches or things like that. There's a lot of great competition still in the UFC. I do view myself as more than a fighter, and being in my position, I feel like I have a lot more options than a lot of the other fighters as far as the ability to leave and return and things like that. And so right now, I'm just focusing on love, happiness, kindness. We're in the quarter century mark. And this year should be a really special year.
Lately, fans have noticed something. Sean O'Malley is looking sharp. As he prepares for his highly anticipated rematch with Merab Dvalishvili, it's clear he's taking things seriously. This time, O'Malley is training hard in wrestling and grappling, knowing Merab's pressure and pace are no joke.
You go through these training camps, every training camp you go through, you get a little bit better, and this training camp has been a long training camp. It's been just a lot of grappling. It's a lot of grappling. That's all we've been doing. And it's, when you're doing that 5-6 days a week, you're going to improve. And we've been in camp for a long time now. I think we did about 12-13 weeks of focusing on Merab, focusing on getting better in that area. It's been a long camp, and I've definitely improved.
So they don't call Merab the machine for nothing, right? This dude's riding a 12-fight win streak. Specifically, what do you think you have to do to end that streak and get that strap back next week?
I got to win the first 3 rounds, and I got to win the last 2 rounds. I got to break the machine. I got to beat him. I gotta win the positions, and I know I can beat Merab. He's open to be getting knocked out. I'm very confident that I could put his lights out. I'm also confident I could beat him in a 5-round fight.
Merab also approached Sean O'Malley with an offer to give the fans a great fight.
What's the message to Sean O'Malley?
Sean O'Malley, just show up and let's give people what they want. Let's give people a good fight. And I know you want your belt, not your belt. I know you want this belt so much, and but you're gonna have a hard time. And I'm here. Let's show people a good fight. Just show up, make weight, and do it again. Professional. Let's go. No excuse this time. Let's go.
So you want to be a fighter?
That's a compound factor.
So you want to be a fighter?
Nothing's gonna stop.
Nothing.
Charles Oliveira called the fight with the most difficult opponent in his life.
So what was the hardest fight of your life?
And that fight against Justin Gage. Everyone knows they stole my belt. Man, people think that over 200 grams, they'd let it slide. But really, there was never 200 grams. I made weight Thursday. I was good.
Look, I don't want you to confirm or deny this, but I'll say this. I've been in a fighter's corner before and seen the check scale half a pound below the official one. That just infuriates me more when I heard you didn't make weight, because that damn thing is always off.
Man, that's crazy. Check this out. First, his corner, his coach was always around me, all over the place, like he was from the commission. This stuff doesn't happen anywhere else, you know? So honestly, there was nothing I could do. I fought in his town, his commission, his people. They just wanted to hand him that belt. But they couldn't do that outright. So they were trying to mess with my head, you know? That's the truth. It won't change my mindset, though. I swear on everything that I made weight in there. I made weight on Thursday. So in reality, they just robbed me. Each fight has its story, its struggle, its battles. Every fight, it's unique, you know? Sometimes there's family issues, training injuries, many problems. Every fight tells a different story.
UFC 315 in Montreal was supposed to be Belal Muhammad's big moment, but instead, he suffered a brutal loss to Jack Della Maddalena. After promising a boxing masterclass, Belal was completely outboxed, and fans didn't hold back. One of the loudest critics was none other than Nate Diaz. The Stockton legend posted a video while watching the fight live, and when asked who he was picking, he didn't hesitate. He said,
Who do you got on this fight, Nate?
I don't know the other guy. He said I'll fight Belal. This guy's like good, but I think I'd beat the shit out of Belal. 7? Yes. Yeah, because he was beating his ass.
Remember the name fired back, saying, must be on the same coke as Connor. But would Nate Diaz actually stand a chance against Belal? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Can I get some backup over here?
I don't think they...
What's up, bro? Game on.
There's a shooter right there. I think this guy's still, I think he's gonna break. He's sweating.
Get up on him, bro. Get up on him. Hello.
That's all for today. If you enjoy our videos, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it.